I now call this Bryan Independent School District meeting to order. Let the record show that a quorum of board members is present, that this meeting has been duly called, and that notice of this meeting has been posted in accordance with the Texas Open Meetings Act, Texas Government Code, Chapter 551. The time is 6 p.m. Wish to extend a warm welcome to everyone that's joined us this evening. Please turn off the sound on your devices if you don't mind. And we'll get started with the pledges. Tonight we have students from Bonham Elementary and Bowen Elementary.
Okay, good evening. I'm Gloria Garcia Rhodes, proud principal at Bonham Elementary. I have student council members that have come out to lead us in the United States Pledge with my student council sponsor, Mrs. Embry, and we're going to let the kids introduce themselves with your name and your grade, okay? So let's stand up.
Good evening. My name is Alexander Sanchez, and I'm from 4th grade at Bonham Elementary.
My name is Daria. My name is Araya, and I'm in 4th grade.
My name is Genevieve, and I'm in 4th grade.
My name is Dario.
My name is Isaac, and I'm in 4th grade.
My name is Jimena, and I'm in 4th grade. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Salute.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Hello, I'm Leah Bartlett from Bowen Elementary, and these are our 3rd graders.
My name is Lane, and I'm in 3rd grade.
My name is London Provozic, and I am in 3rd grade.
My name is Scarlett, and I'm in 3rd grade.
My name is Jordan, and I'm in 3rd grade. My name is Mila, and I'm in 3rd grade.
My name is Patrick, and I'm in 3rd grade.
My name is Emerson, and I'm in 3rd grade.
My name is Raiden, and I'm in 3rd grade.
My name is Landon, and I'm in 3rd grade. This is the Texas Pledge. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to the Texas, one state under God, one and indivisible.
Great job. Okay, we'll start with our spotlights this evening. First is Elementary Teachers of the Month. Mrs. Gloria Garcia Rhodes, principal of Bonham Elementary, will present.
All right. Good evening. It is my distinct privilege to stand before you tonight to spotlight an educator whose data-driven practices, technological innovation, and deep heart for Bonham represents the absolute pinnacle of teaching excellence, Miss Amanda Nevels. Serving as both our third grade English language arts reading teacher and campus iSupport technology representative, Ms. Nevels focuses on one of the most critical milestones in a child's education journey, foundational literacy. She views every district assessment and benchmark as more than just data. She sees them as roadmaps for student success. Through intentional TEKS-aligned planning and her structured I do, we do, you do instructional framework, she has transformed her classroom into an environment where students thrive academically and personally. What truly sets her pedagogy apart, however, is how she empowers her students to own their academic journeys. Throughout the year, Ms. Nevels meets frequently with her students for one-on-one progress conferences. Together, they actively chart data, track milestones, and co-create personalized learning goals. This individual attention ensures that every child knows exactly where they stand and what they're capable of achieving. Crucially, Ms. Nevels knows that student success requires a strong bridge between the classroom and home. She maintains an exemplary digital parent contact log, utilizing platforms like Class Dojo and soon Parent Square to foster consistent, proactive, and meaningful two-way communication with families. Beyond daily updates, she translates this partnership into community advocacy by designing and leading critical events, such as the STAR Third Grade Parent Night, where she empowers parents with real data and concrete learning strategies to support their children's literacy at home. She creates an engaging and exciting learning space where students feel deeply supported, challenged, and loved. It is no surprise that many students describe her as their favorite teacher, a bond so strong that they often return to visit her long after leaving her classroom. Furthermore, her impact radiates across our entire district. As our technology specialist, she is always willing to help anyone in need of assistance, never minding sharing her vast knowledge with others. Amanda Nevels embodies the passion, analytical precision, and visionary dedication we strive to cultivate in all educators. Please join me in celebrating Bonham Elementary Spotlight Educator, Miss Amanda Nevels.
Thank you. Congratulations and shout out to Mr. Alonzo Robles of Truist Bank, who's here presenting our gift cards this evening. Thank you. Next, we'll have Mrs. Kim Guest, principal of Bowen Elementary.
Tonight, it is truly an honor to recognize Ms. Terry Clark as Bryan ISD's Teacher of the Month. Terry Clark is an extraordinary educator whose impact reaches far beyond the walls of her classroom at Bowen Elementary. For 26 years in Bryan ISD, including 17 years as a lead elementary art teacher, she has inspired students through creativity, innovation, and a deep belief in the power of the arts. Terry is a nationally board certified teacher, the 2024 Texas Art Education Association Elementary Teacher of the Year, Region 6 Team Director, and serves as a university liaison for student artists participating in state base. She is widely respected for her leadership, mentorship, and dedication to advancing high-quality art education for students and teachers alike. At Bowen, Terry creates a classroom environment where students are empowered to think critically, problem solve, take creative risks, and express themselves with confidence. Her students are deeply engaged, proud of their work, and excited to learn because of the culture she builds every single day. This year, Terry also helped lead the implementation of our National Elementary Art Honor Society chapter, expanding opportunities for student leadership and recognition in the arts. Her vision, passion, and commitment to students continues to elevate not only our campus, but the district as a whole. Most importantly, Terry leads with heart. She believes in kids fiercely, advocates for them relentlessly, and leaves a lasting impact on every student fortunate enough to walk through her classroom doors. Bryan ISD is incredibly fortunate to have educators like Miss Terry Clark, and Bowen Elementary is proud to celebrate her tonight.
Oh, good. Yeah. Mr. Van Ness, if you want to move up, go ahead. Take a good picture.
I just wanted to say Ms. Clark does an awesome job. I love going into her art class. Maybe because my favorite was art, but she does a great job with the students and just a fun class.
Congratulations. We'll go to our secondary teacher of the month. Ms. Sarah Rueda, principal of Davila Middle School, will present.
Good evening. Tonight we have Miss Amanda Petty. Miss Petty is our 7th grade science teacher here at Davila. She demonstrates her commitment and dedication to student success each and every day. Her passion for teaching, positive attitude, and support for her students make a lasting impact on our campus community. We are so grateful for all that she does to help our students and grow and succeed. Staff members that nominated Miss Petty say that Miss Petty has worked hard to create amazing labs for students to engage in higher level learning. She generally cares for all of her students and wants to see them succeed. Miss Petty is an amazing science teacher. She puts tons of effort into her lessons and activities. Miss Petty is dedicated to Davila and always willing to go the extra mile to ensure that her lessons are engaging. Miss Petty goes above and beyond for the science team and her students. She does so much for the school. Miss Petty serves as the 7th grade science team lead, the new teacher mentor, and soccer coach. Please join me in congratulating our May Teacher of the Month, Miss Amanda Petty.
Great job. Congratulations. Next, the Auxiliary Employee of the Month, Mr. Bryant Washington, Director of Transportation, will present.
Good afternoon, everyone. Integrity, honesty, and strive for excellence. Those were the 3 words that we started our school year off with in Bryan ISD Transportation. Mr. Clifford Walker embodies all 3 of those things. This evening, I have the privilege of presenting Mr. Clifford Walker as May Auxiliary Employee of the Month. Mr. Walker started his career with Bryan ISD Transportation in April of 2019 and has consistently demonstrated dedication, professionalism, and a strong commitment to serving our students each and every day. Though his hard work, positive attitude, and willingness to go above and beyond, his hard work, positive attitude, and willingness to go above and beyond, Mr. Walker has made a lasting impact on our department. One morning, Mr. Walker not only showed that he was was more than that he was a bus driver, but he also showed that he was a hero by evacuating a school bus safely when an incident took place. He is dependable, team-oriented, and always ready to step in wherever help is needed. His commitment to excellence does not go unnoticed, and we are grateful to have him a part of Bryan ISD Transportation. Please join me in congratulating Mr. Walker on his well-deserved recognition as our May Auxiliary Employee of the Month.
Congratulations, Mr. Walker. Thank you for your service. Next, we will celebrate two of our students.
Valedictorians and salutatorians from all the schools.
Yep. Oh, from all the schools, from Rudder and Bryan High School?
Yes.
Okay. Dr. Leslie Holtkamp, Director of School Leadership, and Dr. Christina Richardson, Director of Advanced Academics, will present.
There we go. So we're glad to present these wonderful students here tonight. They deserve a lot of recognition. They've worked really hard for a long time, and they have made it to valedictorian and salutatorian. So Bryan Collegiate and Dr. Caperton couldn't be here tonight because they are actually rehearsing graduation right now as we speak, so I'm presenting on her behalf. Their valedictorian is Yasmin Canul, and she's the daughter of Giovanni Canul and Magna Ruscio. Sorry, I apologize. But she plans to attend Texas A&M and study architecture. And then Ariana de Jesus Badillo is the daughter of Hector Badillo and Olivia Vega, and she also plans to attend Texas A&M and is going to major in biology.
So it's my honor to introduce our high school principals. Principal from Bryan High School, Dr. Gregory Boheis, and our principal from Rudder High School, Ms. Rachel Layton. Through their leadership and dedication and support, they have created a positive learning environment for our students, and they have encouraged our students to grow and to achieve their goals. And our principals continuously inspire students to excel in the classroom and outside of the classroom. So I wanted to start with Dr. Greg Boheis to introduce his students.
Hi, good evening. Erica is actually not with us tonight. She had a prior commitment. She is our salutatorian, the daughter of Dr. Stanislav Vitha and Dr. Tanya Wagner. She plans to attend University of Nevada, Reno, and is majoring in biotechnology. She was recently honored at our Bryan Rotary last week as one of our scholarship winners. Who I do have with us is Ruth DeLeon. She is our valedictorian this year. She is the daughter of Reverend Dr. Dan DeLeon and Mrs. Stacy DeLeon, and she plans to attend Brown University and major in political science. So I am going to get all of this right so she doesn't argue with me, because she will win that. I asked Ruth's teachers a little bit about her, like what is it you recognize her as? There's so many accomplishments she's going to have, both in the coming week as well as in her future. So a few things that our teachers did have to say about her is Ruth is a delight and joy to have in class. She brings light and positivity that is rare to see in students nowadays. Her passion for music, learning, and helping others also makes her stand out among her peers. She's also a very accomplished pianist. She's inquisitive and often asks questions in class that hadn't been thought of before. She demands excellence of herself and others. She is thoughtful, deliberate, quick-witted, and a phenomenal musician. She made it to state UIL solo and ensemble on one or both instruments every year of high school. Ruthie is not only an outstanding student, but also an exceptionally talented musician. She is one of the most self-motivated, dedicated, and hardworking students I have taught. Ruthie is deeply committed to making a difference in the world, especially when it comes to issues of social justice. She stands up for what she believes in. Beyond the classroom, she volunteers and serves as the president of the National Honor Society. I could go on, and I don't want to steal too much of what I'm sure she's going to share with us at graduation, but we couldn't be more proud of our valedictorian of Bryan High School this year, Ruth DeLeon.
If the family wants to jump in, take pictures, head on over. Memory making.
We're not starting until that says rudder. Wait, place over there. All right. So Michael, our valedictorian, couldn't be here tonight. He is attending the CTE Awards Banquet, receiving his industry-based certifications. Just a reminder that he has been a National Merit finalist. He also, once again, as we talked about, Michael, not only with his academics, but our gymnastics team did go back to the state meet this year, where he also placed once again. I believe he placed 5th. And so we're always continually proud of everything he does to balance athletics as well as academics. Our salutatorian, Ana Torres Zapata, is here with us tonight. She's a daughter of Abelardo and Elsa Torres. She is going to attend the University of Texas at Austin, and we are so proud of her. I always tell her what courage that takes as we sit here through all these banquets and everyone's going to A&M, 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 and then when it's her turn, it's University of Texas at Austin. And so she is going to major in neuroscience, and her plans are to get a PhD in neuroscience and begin a career in clinical neuropsychology research. And so we are proud of how intelligent and the great things she does. In high school, not only does she balance all the academics, but she does a lot of also service. And so you're going to notice that almost everything she's involved in is academic and service oriented. She is the National Honor Society president. She is the Spanish Honor Society historian. She's an AP capstone student involving all the extra classes you have to take to be in that program. She's a St. Joseph Hospital student volunteer, and she also volunteered with Gear Up this summer. If you know, that's the class of 2026 program. And then she's a Bryan ISD student ambassador and a Key Club member. And so not only are we proud of her, obviously being the salutatorian, that is years of excellence and hard work and late nights and studying. And sometimes when your friends are doing other things, you're the one putting the work in. And that can be 4 years, obviously, and probably even down into middle school with some of the high school classes. And then to see her heart for service and then her dreams and aspirations when she goes off to college to get the PhD in neuroscience is pretty amazing. And so we are very proud of our salutatorian, Ana Torres Zapata.
Congratulations. Next, we will celebrate State History Fair competitors. Ms. Lisa Mouton, Social Studies Coordinator, will present.
Good evening. I am so pleased to be able to present to you the 15 students who represented Bryan ISD at the Texas State History Fair this year. And these students put forth so much effort, deep research, project design, competed at the campus, district, and regional levels in order to be able to qualify to go to state. And we are so proud of all of their effort, their hard work. They represent grades 5 through 10 from intermediate, middle school, and high schools across the district, and they competed in a variety of different categories that you see featured on your screen. And we also had some great success at the competition, and so I'd also like to highlight that one of our groups from the high school in the senior division group exhibit won first place for their work and their research, and they will be competing at the National History Fair at the University of Maryland this summer. And so we are so very proud of them and wish them the best of luck in their competition.
That is great. It's very cool. They must be twins. Yeah, of course. Yeah. Absolutely.
Throwing us with hair.
Parents, if you want, parents, do you want to come up here closer to the students? Okay.
Congratulations. Next, we'll move to public comment on agenda items and non-agenda items. Citizens may make comments about topics relevant to district business. Topics should be limited to 3 minutes. Comments concerning a specific student or personnel will be held in closed session. I have 3 speakers this evening. Our first will be Mr. Nathaniel Stewart. Mr. Stewart, I'm going to start a timer, and when I tell you to hit it, you can get started, okay?
Where? That microphone there is on. It should be, the one that. Yep.
There you go.
Where's the timer?
I've got it right here.
Okay.
You ready?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Go ahead.
Hello, my name is Nathaniel Stewart, and I'm a current 7th grader here at SFA. Kickstart has been a wonderful experience in the past 3 years, and has taught me so much, not only about Kickstart, but also about key qualities such as respect, discipline, and responsibility. When Kickstart starts here in Bryan ISD, you're in intermediate school, and as long as you pass, you leave intermediate school with your blue belt. The blue belt, however, is 4 belts away from the black belt, and you need to go through at least 2 more years in the program to obtain it. Unless you go to Davila, this becomes much harder to get. Many extracurricular activities take place after school, and the only way to advance through the program while not going to Davila is to go after school, meaning you have to sacrifice other programs. I've played baseball since I was in 1st grade, yet this year I quit to pursue my red belt, which I have done. But if Kickstart was offered here at SFA, I wouldn't have had to do that. And it's not as if the program wouldn't be as liked. It's just that many students can't do this due to other activities, or their parents can't get them to practice. To wrap this up, Kickstart is a beneficial program to all the students in it and the school environment around them. It is a great leadership program as well, helping inspire students to do the right thing and become future leaders wherever they end up. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, we have Mrs. Jane Sherman. Is that correct, Mrs. Sherman?
That's going to be hard to follow. Okay.
Whenever you're ready.
Okay. Good evening, board members. Thank you for your service. My name is Jane Sherman, and I'm a parent of two Bryan ISD students, a 6th grader at Jane Law and a 7th grader at SFA. And I'm here tonight because I would like to see Kickstart Kids offered at SFA next year. Both of my kids started Kickstart at Jane Law in 5th grade under the amazing instruction of Miss Morano. I currently drive my 7th grader to Jane Law up to 3 times a week for after-school practice, with Miss Morano has made available for the 7th graders, in addition to after-school practices she has for 5th and 6th graders. Miss Morano is truly amazing and devoted instructor, but is maxed out. There are over 50 Kickstart 6th graders at Long and many more at Rayburn that are zoned for SFA and would very much like to continue their Kickstart journey, but won't be able to because they are not transferring to Davila and can't get to Jane Long after school, just like many of the current SFA 7th graders. Here are the top 3 reasons why having Kickstart SFA would not only benefit the Kickstart students, but also Bryan ISD as a whole. First, discipline, respect, honesty, loyalty, courage, dedication, kindness, and responsibility. These are the 8 Kickstart Kids core values. Sound familiar? That's because they line up so well with Bryan ISD's essential 8. Having Kickstart at SFA reinforces Bryan ISD's values at SFA. These Kickstart kids will help ease the discipline issues middle schools struggle with because they will embody these issues, because they will embody these values in the classrooms and hallways. Second, the opportunity for kids at SFA to continue Kickstart and earn their black belt will make these students more competitive for college admissions. There's this thing called trifecta of college admissions, and this is where I put on my Tiger Mom hat. The trifecta consists of being a veteran, Eagle Scout, and black belt. Bryan ISD has the opportunity to give these students a leg up in their college admissions and also improve Bryan ISD's own college admission numbers by offering Kickstart to kids who want to continue but can't because it is not offered at SFA. If Kickstart can provide one of their dedicated, trained instructors, we can come up with a space and mats and equipment, and I can attest that the Kickstart parents will wash as many cards and sell as many chocolate bars as needed to help raise these funds. And I'm not the only parent here. There are other ones here as well. Finally, children first always. Beyond improving the atmosphere at SFA and increasing college admission numbers, this is about our kids. I have seen character change in my own children. The other day while driving my daughter, she said she is becoming more aggressive. She continued, now she feels more confident, more bold to ask questions in class and help her classmates in schoolwork and projects, all because of Kickstart, her words. Kickstart has helped shape my brilliant, though reserved child into a leader in her classroom. My son, who's even more reserved, received his red belt this past week. I look back at the pictures I took that night of him and his friends, and there's this great smile and ease I don't normally see on him. Kickstart has provided my son a safe place to be. We need Kickstart at SFA next year. I know many Kickstart parents feel the same way. If there is anything we can do as parents, can do to support SFA and Bryan ISD to make this happen, you know we will do it 100%. Please consider bringing Kickstart kids to SFA next year. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. And next I have Mrs. Gail Masters.
Hello, thank you for seeing me. I'm also here for Kickstart. I want to say we've already discussed the core values. It is in coordination with the instructors for Kickstart, as well as the school district and the families that bring these kids together, the village that we are, that bring them together and have them make it through high school and on to whatever they choose to do, whether it's service in the military, whether it's going off to college, whatever they choose to do in their lives. This program gives them the strength and the knowledge. They know they can take a punch and keep moving forward. They can stand up. They can stand up for their friends. They're not advocating violence. They're advocating leadership. And with their core values that Kickstart talks about on a daily basis. I believe the children, my children, and the students in the school district in Bryan can reach their full potential with Kickstart at Stephen F. Austin. And I'm hoping you'll be able to consider that. I've invited several people. I don't know if anybody can raise their hand who's here to support Kickstart. The instructors are amazing, the school district. I'm so happy they have this. And I know it's a struggle, and I really hope we can have Kickstart at Stephen F. Austin. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, next we'll move to our superintendent's report. Superintendent Ginger Carabine.
Thank you, Mr. Bryan.
Excuse me, can I just wanted to mention, in case y'all didn't know, we can't really discuss something that's not on the agenda, so it's not like we're ignoring you or anything. We certainly heard what you had to say, but I wanted to make sure they knew that this is not something we can discuss at a since it's not an agenda item. So, but thank you very much for your comment.
Thank you, David.
Thank you, Mr. Bryan. So many things to celebrate tonight. It was wonderful, as always, to shine a light on our staff members of the month and our top graduates, valedictorians and salutatorians. What you saw tonight is just a perfect example of the high caliber of students attending Bryan ISD schools and graduating from us. So with that, to our community, save the date. If you'd like to join us at graduation ceremonies, we start this Thursday for MC Harris at 6 p.m. right next door in our Performing Arts Center. Friday night, we will celebrate the graduates of Bryan Collegiate High School at 6 p.m. at Rudder Auditorium out at Texas A&M University. And then on Saturday, we have a doubleheader graduating Bryan High School at 8 o'clock in the morning with Rudder High School following at 12. So again, we'll say our goodbyes to over 1,000 students, and we could not be any more proud of our students and grateful for our parent partnerships. Speaking of celebrations, we've done it again in Bryan ISD. We were recently notified that we were once again, this is the second year in a row, we were selected as a semifinalist for the HEB Excellence in Education Award. Out of more than 2,000 school districts, we're very proud to say that Bryan ISD was one of just 25 selected throughout our state, placing us in the top 2% again of all districts in the state. They also happen to send $1,000 for us to use as we see fit to support our staff again in Bryan ISD. So congratulations are in order. This is an award dedicated to our students and our staff. Another big celebration, just a few nights ago, we celebrated Scholarship Night for graduates at all 4 high schools. We are so grateful for the generous sponsorships and for our Bryan ISD Education Foundation for facilitating and also sponsoring. In total, we had 158 students were recognized from all 4 Bryan ISD schools. They earned a combined 252 scholarships, totaling close to $300,000. So we are so grateful again and very proud of all the recipients. And then finally, also celebrating students, over the last month, we've had 14 students sign letters of intent to take their talent to the next level. 12 athletes and 2 fine arts students representing Bryan and Rudder High School, making us so proud, and we know that they'll take it out to the next level on the highest stage possible to represent our school district in all the best ways. So it's a great week ahead of us. Last week of school, we can't believe it. We are very grateful, and in my opinion, we've had a very strong school year. Again, very grateful. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Moving to board member reports, Teaching and Learning Board Committee report from Mr. David Stennis.
Teaching and Learning Committee, we held a Zoom meeting May 5th at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Those present at the meeting were Dr. Julie Harlan Wolf, Mrs. Ruthie Waller, myself, Ginger Carabine, and Dr. Barbara Ibarra. It was a brief meeting, but the topics that were discussed were led by Dr. Ibarra. We discussed the Virtual Academy update, which I believe that we had the meeting the day, literally no less than 24 hours after we had opened the Virtual Academy application. Implementing a rolling admission process to review student criteria. I believe that there were 60 applications again, and that was before it was even open for less than 24 hours. Dr. Barr discussed prospective student information sessions are going to be scheduled in May, and then we will hear an update regarding the virtual academy later on in this meeting. Other topics discussed were the intermediate schedule. After receiving feedback from teachers, administrators, and families, the district is reviewing options for intermediate schedules to maximize the instructional time. And then we discussed annual purchase request, reviewed operational and supplemental purchase request over $50,000, and then more information will be shared on that during the first board meeting in June. And so, again, good meeting, effective meeting, but brief. So that's it.
Thank you. Our first information item, we will receive an update on the Bryan Virtual Academy. Presenters, Associate Superintendent of Teaching and Learning, Dr. Barbara Ibarra, Director of Advanced Academics, Dr. Christina Richardson, and Director of Career and Technical Education, Mrs. Laura King.
I think Ms. King had a banquet this evening to celebrate students, so we're going to take the lead for her. Thank you, Mr. Bryan. Thank you, Board. As Mr. Sinnis mentioned, we are going to provide a brief update on the Bryan Virtual Academy and its progress to date, since it's been online for just a little bit of time. The website has launched along with the application itself. We've held 2 of the 4 parent and informational sessions so far. We also have recorded those sessions and posted those recordings online, both in English and in Spanish, because we know it might be very challenging to get to some of these sessions and didn't want parents to have to wait to get the information they need to make informed decisions for their students. To date, as of this afternoon, we have 148 applicants for the Virtual Academy. Those applications are under review. It takes a little bit of time to go through all of the data on each child to make sure we're making a decision of placement that's in partnership with the parents, but that is currently happening right now. Dr. Richardson and I are going to provide just a very, very brief update on what the Academy is and how it's being designed at this point. We've received great feedback from the parents who have attended the sessions so far, and it's helped kind of solidify that there's definitely a need out there for this type of flexible learning in our community. So opening in August of 2026, tuition free for our families, serving grades 3 through 12 for students that are zoned to Bryan ISD schools, as well as those outside of our school zone. It is designed to be rigorous, college and career ready pathway that is certified teachers, and it meets all of the standards of the Texas Essential Knowledge and Skills. For grades 3 through 6, the program is fully virtual, 100% online, with asynchronous learning and a multitude of synchronous or live instructional support and instruction. For 7 through 12, Dr. Richardson will explain this in a couple of moments, but they have the choice of either full-time virtual or some combination of hybrid, where they may come on site for 1 class period or 2 class periods that are performance-based electives, CTE, fine arts, athletics, depending on eligibility, those sorts of things. But most importantly, what we're hoping is that while a student and a family may choose virtual, we hope that they also choose to be connected to the Bryan ISD School community. And so we want to make sure all of our families know that if you're a virtual student, you still have access to all of the after-school clubs, all of the family events, all of the evening activities, prom, homecoming, dances, all of the literacy evenings and nights. You have access to all of those things, and we want you to take advantage of them. So that is also a part of those parent informational sessions. In terms of student eligibility, and again, this is all pending those rules from TEA, which have not been released yet. So today, the rules are that you need to be academically stable, meaning you're passing your courses, you've shown proficiency on a state assessment or any comparable assessment, and you must be willing to come on site for standardized testing from the state of Texas and any other district testing that is required. A great example would be AP testing. If you're going to take the AP course, you're going to come on site to take that AP test. So all of those things are kind of at play. We are seeing a number of students who are not currently enrolled in any public school system. They are either homeschooling or they're in private school, and they don't have a comparable assessment that they can provide. If that's the case, then we invite those families up, and then we have an assessment administered to the student here on site. to understand kind of where their strengths are and where their areas of growth are. So we will do that in partnership with those families as we receive their applications. With that, I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Richardson to talk about the courses.
Good evening. So for 3rd through 6th grade, it's pretty basic. It's going to be basically the same for every student. They have those core courses: math, science, language, and social studies. The first 3, math, science, and language arts, there will be an advanced option for those. Then students have art, music, and PE. So it's a very similar schedule, just like they would have in person. And there are some optional electives also available at this grade level. For 7 through 12, this is where it gets to be a little bit different, and I know we continue to field a lot of questions about what's this hybrid, how does this look? So for students can go fully virtual, which means all of their classes are online. They are choosing not to step foot onto the, whether it be middle school or high school campus, but they can still participate after school in those in clubs. They can join the robotics club, the chess club, whatever's after school that they'd want to. But for their coursework, they don't have to go on campus. The other option is hybrid, and this means that students are going to attend virtually for a block of their courses, so their English, math, history, and science. But there may be performance electives that they want to do in person, that they can only do in person. So if they want to join the welding class, if they want to join the band, if they want to be in mariachi or choir or athletics, those are obviously only things they can do in person. And so part of that student schedule, they would actually have a schedule just like any other student, and I'm coming every day to 5th period athletics. I'm coming every day to 6th period choir, whatever that performance elective may be. And so they would do their virtual stuff just every day. They have to log in, but then they would go to that period or 2 periods a day, whatever it may be, to go to that performance elective. The full course list, we worked on it Friday. We have it ready for some final approvals, but it should be coming out soon of what courses are going to be available virtually in the 3 through 12. And supporting our students. And so one thing we talked about is that this is an asynchronous experience. So these students are working at their own pace. They are logging in every single day. We are monitoring them for progress. But how are we going to support those students just like we would our in-person students? And so we have 2 different ways. Part of it is with our Connections partner. They will be doing some extra things like relearning opportunities, that teacher support time, one-on-one appointments, the live lessons, all of the things on their side. On our side, myself and several others, part of our team, will be monitoring these students. We will be looking at their attendance. We will be monitoring their progress. We will be monitoring their grades. And we may be reaching out to them saying, we really think, you know what, you may want to come in for some in-person algebra tutoring. That's what we think we're going to recommend at this point. We want you on campus after school a couple days a week to do algebra tutoring. So it's really going to depend on the student as to what's appropriate to intervene. Once we have all tried, the families tried their hardest and we've tried our hardest, then we're going to have those conversations that maybe virtual school is not the best fit for your student. And we're going to recommend bringing them back in person to get all of the support that they need to be successful. Because that's what we really want, is we want a student who comes out the other side of this that are fully prepared to enter into college, enter into a career, to do the exact same things that an in-person student has the opportunities to do. For our extracurricular, again, we want these students to be fully integrated into our Bryan ISD family. We want them to be part of the campus. We want them to know who their principals are. So if they want to join the chess club after school, they can join the chess club. They can qualify for National Honor Society. They can come to the prom. They can come to homecoming. We would love to see them at Friday Night Lights at football and being part of that community. The students who choose the performance electives obviously can participate in athletics, in cheerleading, in the choir, all of those things. And our Bryan ISD zone students are eligible for UIL participation. Our out-of-zone students are going to be evaluated and see if they meet the UIL guidelines to participate. And so that's what would guide any of those decisions. So what do we need our families to have to be engaged? They are going to have their own, it's called an observer role. So they can get into the platform. They will see all of their students' classes. They'll see all the communication the teacher has had with their student. They'll see all the assignments that are due, all of the grades. And so they can get in there and see everything their student can see as part of that observer role. And then they have a family orientation. So in August, all of the student and the parent together are going to attend orientation. During that time, they'll gain access to the platform. They'll learn how to log in. They'll learn how to maneuver the platform. After that moment, we're going to ask students to complete an online orientation class before the first day of school. Once they've completed that class that teaches them, here's how you get to everything you're going to need to manipulate in the online platform, then their courses will be open to them on the first day of school. They will also have access in Skyward. We will be pulling over progress report and report card grades, and so Skyward will be another place that they can monitor their students' grades as well. So application enrollment. We have, like Dr. Ybarra said, we've got almost 150 applicants so far. Most of them are secondary. I've had multiple phone calls and I've had a Zoom meeting and email correspondence with so many parents who are excited for this opportunity. Parents from all over that have not ever considered Bryan ISD before. And so this is opening up great lines of communications with groups that we have not worked with before. And so applications are open now. They're going to stay open, and we will test students who need it throughout the summer. In June, it will be our first big bulk of all of these 150 who have already applied when we do admissions decisions. Throughout the summer, Donna Willett and her team will be doing individual sessions to make sure the students are scheduled into the appropriate courses and then getting them enrolled into that online platform. Blinn College is also one of our partners in this, and they have set up a meeting for our virtual school students who are interested in enrolling in dual credit on June 16th. So they'll have two opportunities, one in the afternoon and one in the evening, to work with Blinn College to enroll if that's something they choose to participate in. At the end of July, beginning of August, we're going to check out their Chromebooks to them, make sure they can log in, they've got their technology going. And then, like I said, August 4th is that parent orientation. Between the 4th and the 11th, that virtual orientation course will be open for the student to complete. And then August 10th, what we're calling priority enrollment will end. And at that point, we'll start looking case by case and understanding, like, why does the student need to enter after the first day of school? So we want to be sure we're responsive to those parents who have a situation that their child now needs virtual school. And then August 12th, we're off and rolling for the first day of school.
Christina, can I ask a question?
Absolutely.
So the virtual school department head type, is it you and Donna?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
We're working as a team.
Gotcha. That's a
And
good,
Laura King also.
that is an amazing two department heads right there.
Yeah. Yep.
Or whatever your headmasters or
Yes.
whatever you guys are going to name yourselves. Yeah.
Maybe you did, but would you define priority enrollment?
So just kind of showing, like, this is when we'll have the bulk of our students enrolled by that time is August 10th. We want them set up in the platform. We want their courses selected. We want all of those things to happen so that for August 12th, they're ready for the first day of school. After the first day of school, we will still enroll kids, but we're gonna go on a case-by-case basis and make sure that it's right for them and that we can still get them, meet their needs in the platform.
Okay, but in terms of, when you say priority, it's not about limiting numbers?
No, sir.
Okay, all right.
No.
How will students, so I understand parents will have access to like their student stuff. Will students be able to communicate with other students who are in this program? Or I worry about isolation, like if they're totally online, how will they connect with other online students?
There are opportunities for peer-to-peer conversations and collaboration. They do some of that through that live lessons and the small groups that they offer. It is a choice for those students to get in those rooms and participate, but that is an option that they have available.
And are they only with Bryan ISD people, or are they with people
No,
from wherever?
they're with people from
whoever.
wherever. And even our third grade group has literacy sessions that they can be a part of with others. And then it's called Drop In and Say Hi. It's like a little homeroom for elementary kids to have those interactions.
So caution to parents, they are going to have to stay on top of kids, particularly if they're online only.
Yeah, this is definitely a partnership. That's something we're going to emphasize in the orientation, that, you know, using that observer role is going to be really important to help keep track of their student as well. And then we'll keep track of their progress on our end.
Do you have an estimation on how many of those kids of the, was it 150 were out of district?
Yes.
Or
About 40.
out of district or in the district, but
There are 40 that are not currently enrolled with us.
Okay.
That represents both in and out of the district.
okay, thank you.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we'll have Chief Financial Officer, Mrs. Norma Friddle, continuing our budget development series.
Good evening, Mr. President, Board Member Superintendent Carabine. Tonight, we are continuing our budget development series with a brief high-level overview focused on budget planning and fund balance. Tonight's discussion is intended to help clarify some common misconceptions about fund balance. One of the most important takeaways is that fund balance is not a savings account with a large amount of money sitting in it. Rather, it is a financial balance that naturally fluctuates throughout the year as revenues are received and expenditures are incurred. With that, let's jump in. So just a quick reminder, this is the TASB toolkit that I've been referencing throughout this series, the resource that our informational sessions have all been based on. As I mentioned at our last session, we started this work back in December and have been following the table of contents in sequence, and I've been teaching directly from this guide. Tonight's topic is all about budget planning and fund balance. Okay, so as we all know, we are currently in budget development season. At this stage, we are building a financial plan by estimating the revenues we expect to receive and the expenditures we anticipate incurring for the upcoming year. As the fiscal year progresses, however, the budget transitions from a plan to actual activity. Revenues are received, expenditures are incurred, and throughout the year, those amounts fluctuate based on real operations and changing conditions. At the end of the fiscal year, we evaluate how actual results compared to our original assumptions. Did revenues come in as projected? Were expenditures in line with expectations? The difference between actual revenues and actual expenditures ultimately impacts fund balance, either contributing to it or drawing from it. Fund balance is determined at year end, after all revenues have been received and all expenditures have been recorded. TEA generally recommends maintaining fund balance levels equal to at least 3 months of operating expenditures. Bryan ISD is currently between 2 and 3 month range and remains in compliance with board policy. And this visual helps illustrate the concept that I'm referring to. One of the most common misconceptions is that fund balance is a separate bank account with a large amount of money just sitting in it. In reality, fund balance is constantly fluctuating throughout the year as revenues are received and expenditures are incurred. For example, you'll notice increases during September and October, which is when the district receives the majority of our state payments. Then later in the year, during January, February, March, fund balance typically increases again as the district receives the bulk of its property tax collections. Throughout the remainder of the year, revenues continue to come in, but expenditures continue as well, both on the payroll and non-payroll side, creating the ongoing up and down pattern you see reflected in this chart. At the end of the fiscal year, our auditors capture fund balance as of June 30th. That number is essentially a snapshot in time. However, because the TEA school finance year does not perfectly align with our fiscal year, there are still items that must be accrued and adjusted afterward, such as payroll accruals and the final state payment that belongs to the current fiscal year, but is not received until late August. This is one of the reasons the annual audit process cannot be finalized until after August 31st. So at a high level, the key takeaway here is fund balance is not a static amount of cash sitting untouched. It's a financial position that continually changes throughout the year based on the timing of revenues and expenditures. Fund balance is important because it keeps the district financially stable over the long term and helps protect our instructional programs and our student services, the student services that we provide every day. Having a healthy fund balance also gives the district flexibility to respond to unexpected expenditures, address facility needs, and navigate risks and uncertainties that may come up throughout the year. It's also important to remember that fund balance is weighted heavily as part of the district's financial accountability rating system. At the end of the day, this matters because we want our district to remain in a strong financial position. Strong financial health builds community confidence, it supports our strategic planning efforts, and it places the district in a good position for long-term success. And here we are, almost to the end of our educational series. We have covered a tremendous amount of information since this journey began back in December. Our next topic will focus on budget communication and the importance of clearly communicating the budget process to our community, our stakeholders, our staff, and all of our budget managers. Transparency and communication are such an important part of this work. Then on June 15th, we will bring forward the proposed budget for adoption, which will mark the final step in this year's budget development process. It has certainly been quite a journey. Be happy to take any questions at this time.
Is this a semester course or is this a full year?
We're almost getting to the last chapter.
It's going to be a final?
No.
It's going to cover everything from December, all the work we've done up until this point.
Will we have valedictorians and salutatorians?
Yeah. Well, with two bankers, that's not very fair. But
No.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Are there any questions? Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Item number 10 is consent agenda. The board can remove any item from the consent agenda if applicable. If there are none, I will entertain a motion.
Move approval of all the items listed on the consent agenda.
Second.
Motion was made by Mrs. Benford, seconded by Mrs. Waller. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say no. Motion passes. Item number 11, action items. Discuss and consider approval of a purchase request of over $50,000 for classroom interactive displays. Executive Director of Technology Services, Mrs. Julie Johnson will present.
Good evening. I'm here to talk about our classroom displays. It's that time to look at replacing our aging ones. But I wanted to give you a little bit background for those who weren't here the first time we went through this process. We start with evaluation and planning. So we formed a committee. We make sure we invite critical teachers to look at the different vendors we bring in and actually interface with the board in person. And we also take into account pricing, warranty, and the different features of the different boards that were presented. Ultimately, we had a change this year, and we're moving to smart technologies. We're very excited about it. The hardware is something you keep forever, and you can change out the insides instead of having to replace the entire board, which is a big positive for us. Then we went in and identified kind of our campuses that were most in need and who we would take care of first. And then we were able to work with the Bond 2020 Oversight Committee. So instead of using our 2025 bond funds, we'll be able to utilize our 2020 and start that first phase using those funds. So talking about installation, if approved, we'll have principal meetings, and then we'll do verification walks with those principals, because sometimes they may change the use of how they're using a room. So maybe it wasn't a classroom before, but it is now, or vice versa. Sometimes the size of the board needs to be adjusted depending on the space. So those changes will be taken into account. And then we'll hit the ground running this summer with installation and relocation as those changes need to be made. And then in the fall, when teachers come back, we'll be giving training for those who have those new boards. And that's it, really. Any questions?
Are these just screens, or are they smart screens?
They are the smart screens, so they're interactive. They're meant so that the teachers, the students, we really motivate those kids to come up and write on the board themselves. A lot of times the teachers let them do that part. And even our littles, we set like height levels depending on what kind of classroom it is. So kindergarten, you're going to have a smaller level of board so those kids can come up and interact with it. Another great feature is it partners with our Google system. So as teachers need documents brought up on their board, they're able to hit their Google Drive and bring it right up, make annotations on it, and then send it out to kids if they want a copy of the presentation. Yes, we made sure we used very critical teachers of boards and who use their boards so that we can make sure we're getting something that they will want.
Well, my question, I'll phrase it this way, and again, it's not anything other than just trying to get information. But I understand that we schedule things. We schedule when we're going to replace a roof, even though perhaps it's not leaking. We schedule replacement HVAC, even though it's still working.
Mm-hmm.
We replace buses, even though they're still running. And a lot of that has to do with, you don't want to wait till it actually conks out, because leave kids stranded. You may not be able to get a roof repaired quickly enough. The HVAC, you don't want it to go out in the middle of a school year. That can be problematic.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if this is the same thing, but are we just sort of saying, well, it's this old, it's working fine, but we're going to just go ahead and replace it anyway? And is it as essential as that leaky roof I was talking about? So just tell me your opinion.
It is absolutely time. So our first boards were installed 10 to 11 years ago, and the technology's changed. But like you, I like to make sure, are we replacing it because we need to? Because the TV at my house is just a TV, and I've kept it much longer than 10 years. But these are a little bit different. They're smart. And the functionality changes. A good example is we had a teacher move from one elementary who has some newer boards, the one she left, and went to a campus that had the older interactive boards, and some of the features she was not able to use. For example, she really liked the ability to project her computer so she could walk around and not be tethered to that screen. Well, the campus she moved over to had they have some of the very oldest boards in the district. And you're not able to do that. You have to physically connect with a cable, and it really restricts their movement in teaching. So that's just kind of one of the examples of things that change as the boards have improved. Touch is also another thing. You want to make sure you have multiple ability to touch, so you can have more than one child come up to the board at one time. So if you're doing math problems, for example, you can have them interacting and not have to worry that it's not going to see them writing on the board. So yes, it is definitely time. Originally, when we purchased these, it was over 10 years ago. I was hoping to get 8 years out of them.
Okay.
So I'm pleased we were able to get this far.
Is this general fund, or is this?
It's Bond 2020.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. We were able to, thanks to the Bond Oversight Committee.
Okay.
And we're replacing all
We're starting phase one with 6 campuses, maybe 7, depending on how the dollars go. Because we don't want to replace them all at once. We still want to keep that normal rotation schedule that we do.
So we're starting with those that have the oldest?
The oldest ones,
Okay.
yes. We're even going to use some boards where they may have had to buy 1 or 2 at these older campuses, and we're going to actually shift those to campuses to get them more time as we work on that rotation. So,
Julia, how much, just curious, how much rough average is one of these?
one of the boards? Okay, so we're very pleased with the price, so I should preface with that. But typically with install, the mounting, physical removal of the old board, so in that entire quote, per board was a little less than $3,000. It was like $2,900 and something.
Okay.
So about $3,000 per board.
You made a comment, and
Mhm.
let's make it too technical for this evening, but you mentioned that the core component is, it can be expanded. What were you describing?
That was one of the big selling features from the technical side for SMART. So, for example, the boards we're using right now, there's no way for us to change out the guts, the brain of the board. So we're having to physically move the whole board out, even though if we could, we would be able to still use that board. So what SMART has moved to is that board will be able to use until it completely dies, and you can change out the back so that you can make sure you keep up with the OSs, cybersecurity, the fixes, those kinds of things.
So the
it's a
display
huge
may
improvement.
still be functional, but
Absolutely,
the
yep.
components may need to upgrade.
Yeah, that was one of the things we loved about it.
Yeah.
We don't have to physically move it anymore.
Ms. Johnson, I got a question. Do we give these away? Are they refurbishable? Do they recycle them? The old ones?
So any ones that are good, we're going to take and relocate them to campuses that are in the queue to come up.
Okay.
That the other ones, they do end up recycling those.
Okay.
Yeah.
I move to approve the purchase request for Smart Technologies interactive displays through
Toronto.
Consulting, not to exceed $1 million, utilizing 2020 bond funds.
Second.
Motion was made by Dr. Harlan Wolf, seconded by Mrs. Waller. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed, say no. Motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, we will consider approval of a purchase of over $50,000 to Purdue Brandon LLP for property value audits. Chief Financial Officer, Mrs. Norma Friddle, will present.
Thank you, Mr. President, Board Member Superintendent Carabine. This action item is related to payment for services provided by the legal firm Purdue Brandon in connection with the district's property value audit submissions. As you may recall, Purdue Brandon assisted the district with preparing and submitting the property value audits to the state, which ultimately helped the district recover additional revenue. Under the current agreement, their fee is based on 7.5% of the additional revenue recovered on behalf of the district. This item is simply requesting board approval for payment of those services. Be happy to take any questions at this time.
Norma, this is the same company we used on the most recent one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I move to approve the purchase request for the engagement of property value audit services from Purdue Brandon LLP as presented.
Second.
Motion was made by Mr. Stennis, seconded by Mrs. Benford. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say no. Motion passes. And Ms. Norma Friddle will present 11C, consider approval of a resolution to engage Moat Casey LLC.
Thank you, Mr. President. This action item relates to consideration of a resolution to engage Moak Casey to conduct a voluntary efficiency audit for the district. As we have worked through this year's budget development process, we have identified opportunities to further evaluate our operations, strengthen internal processes, and ensure that resources are being aligned as effectively as possible to support our students and staff. A voluntary efficiency audit is one way school districts can take a proactive approach to reviewing their operations, identifying potential cost-saving opportunities, and validating that resources are being used strategically. It also demonstrates the district's commitment to continuous improvement, financial stewardship, and accountability to our community. This is simply requesting board consideration and approval of the resolution to move forward with that process. Be happy to take any questions at this time.
What's the cost on it?
About $20,000.
Okay.
Thank you. We do recognize that this doesn't meet the cost threshold, but simply for transparency purposes, we wanted to bring this to let the community know that we are holding a voluntary efficiency audit, again, just for financial stewardship and accountability to our community.
Norma, do you know how long it's an efficiency audit? I mean, do they physically come here and stay here and,
Yes, sir.
for a month, or I'm just curious, I mean, again, just more out of curiosity, what all that entails.
Yes, sir. So the legal firm actually conducts the audit. It can take anywhere up to 3 months, and I'm sure there's going to be some in-person and some remote work that takes place, but we are compared to 10 peer districts, both on the financial accountability side and academics. So it's a very intense process. At the conclusion of the audit, we are required to present the results by October 3rd to our community. So they will be presenting on the results of that efficiency audit.
Okay, thank you.
I move approval of the attached resolution naming Moat Casey LLC to conduct the efficiency audit in accordance with the attached proposal for services.
Second.
Motion was made by Dr. Harlan Wolf, seconded by Mrs. Benford. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed say no. Motion passes.
Thank you.
Okay. Next, we have closed session. The board will now convene in closed session to discuss the following items as allowed by the Texas Government Code, Chapter 551.074 and 551.0821. No voting will take place in the closed meeting. Any action the board wishes to take as a result of discussion in closed session will occur after the board reconvenes in the open meeting. The time is now 7:17 p.m. Board reconvened in open session at 9:08 PM. No action was taken in closed session. There being no further business, the meeting adjourned at 9:09 PM.